A lot of movement for a nose guard.
Very quick. Noisy to punt away the football, and he is backed up all the way to that end line. Real tough on a punter.
Right there, great play. A lot of movement for a nose guard.
Very quick. Noisy to punt away the football, and he is backed up all the way to that end line. Real tough on a punter. Doesn't have a lot of room. Let's see if the Tigers go for the block. Almost got to him. Ooh, fair catch is called for and taken at the 36-yard line, and Greg Jackson had to hustle to get to that one.
And a little casual on the catch, might we say.
Let's see how close the Tigers got to him. He juggled it just momentarily. One of the Tigers almost got to that football. That was Derek Giron who put a good rush on him. So the Tigers will take over with their second offensive possession of the ball game in great shape at the Tulane 35-yard line. Moss and Lee are split out to the left side. Tigers in the eye. Hodson fakes, wants to throw, had a man wide open, steps up, finds him. Caught by Alvin Lee and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Gain of 10 yards on the play. Good block by right guard Jim Hubix, number 79, a 6'5", 265-pound junior.
And absolutely a great throw by Tommy Hodson on that. Moving to his left, throwing an out, tough pass to make, and he put it on the money.
As Mike the Tiger just a moment ago urging the LSU Tigers on, trying to keep dry down there, and the rain just ever so slight right now. Just a little bit shy of a 10-yard gain, second down and inches. Here's the pitch back. Eddie Fuller, he's not going to make it. They'll back him up for a loss of about a yard at the 26-yard line. Good defensive charge led by Ray Benford, the right outside linebacker, a 6'2", 218-pound freshman out of Shreveport.
Eddie Fuller on a tall sweep, 2nd and 1. Didn't have very many places to go, but when he's in a situation like that, he's got to stick his nose up in there, which he finally did at the end. Tough play, not much there. 3rd and 0, Lanny.
Right. Not much left, but if it's as tough as that one, the Tigers are going to be hard-pressed to make it. Let's see what they do. There's Egloff. He's got the first down as he pulls his way down inside the 25 to about the 21-yard line. First down, LSU.
If there's one thing LSU should be able to do, it's move Tulane off the ball. We weigh a little more than their defensive line. They have a small nose tackle, which means when you only weigh 240 pounds and you're playing in the middle, you better be real strong and real quick. But in short yardage, you're probably going to get moved out, and they went right up the middle.
Little counter play. Eddie Fuller fights his way to about the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. But a flag is down on the play. 8:35 to go, first quarter. No score between LSU and the Green Wave of Tulane. And it looks like the LSU Tigers are going to back it up. Well, usually in the vicinity of that holding call, Burt Jones, and let's wait and see what the signal is from the official down there on the 20-yard line. That'll back them up 10 yards. As we look at Mike Archer on the sideline and several of his coaching staff. Tigers coming into tonight's game at 7-3, following up that great 10-1-1 season under Mike Archer in his rookie campaign. First down and 20. LSU with a slot right. Hodson to throw, got the time, zips the pass. Halliburton, first down, or close to it. No, a little bit shy at the 15-yard line. Lenzer Burton. Burt, we talked about it before the ball game that they haven't utilized the tight end too much. We've already seen 2 passes to him thus far tonight.
That's correct. Coming off your right side, coming from the film, Ronnie Halliburton coming across. Once again, there's a little pick right there, which enables him to be free up the field, comes up to the corner, good tackle, good play, puts him back in a good position, 2nd and 3.
Gain of 17 yards on the play. Inside the 15-yard line. Split backfield. Fuller gets a call. Puts his head down. Nothing there. He got to the 15. That's all. Tulane did a good job up front. Leroy Brown, the right outside linebacker, first man to make the hit, with help from middle linebacker Richard Harvey. Actually on the left side, a 6'2", 227-pound senior, the Green Wave's leading tackler coming into tonight's game with 80 tackles on the season. Bert, they lost about a half a yard.
Well, when you run outside your trapping guard as opposed to cutting inside your trapping guard, that will happen a lot.
Third down and a long 3. Egloff, the lone running back behind Hodson. Tommy wants to throw. He's got the time. Fires the pass, and it's complete to Fuller. Breaks a tackle. He's in for the touchdown. Bert, we know he's a good running back, but what a weapon he has been this year, either lining up in the slot or coming out of that backfield.
He certainly is a fine pass receiver. Excellent hands and knows what to do with the ball after he catches it.
David Browndyke. He's made 77 straight. He's never missed as an LSU Tiger. Mook will hold. Kick is up. Right through the middle. 6:40 to go in the first quarter. It's timeout on the field with a score. The LSU Tigers 7, Green Wave of Tulane.
Sunshine Network's exciting coverage of college basketball takes off in December. From all the top schools in Florida to the best holiday tournaments, Sunshine Network hoops it up with 26 games. Catch teams from 11 different conferences, including in-state powers Florida State and Florida. Sunshine Network rings in the new year with 5 of the nation's best college basketball tournaments. The Longhorn Classic, featuring Jacksonville University from Texas. The ECAC Holiday Festival from New York. The Red Lobster Florida Citrus Classic from Orlando. The All-College Tournament from Oklahoma City. And the Coca-Cola Classic from Chattanooga. Also coming up, college football. The Central Collegiate Hockey Association. Florida State Florida Day with volleyball, football, and basketball. Men's World Pro Racquetball Tour. Belt Forum Boxing. Michelin Tennis, and more in December on Sunshine Network, Florida Sports Network.
On the second possession of the ball game, the Tigers waste little time in getting some points on the board and lead it by a score of 7-0. What about that drive there, Jones?
It was an excellent drive, capped off with this play right here. Tommy Hodson dropping back. Fuller coming out of the backfield. Third receiver to that side. Breaks on a quick little out there. But it wasn't so much how far down the field he caught the ball. It's that 1, 2, 3 tackles he breaks to get into the end zone. Excellent play. Headed for the Bulls right there.
Browndyke's kickoff. At the 5-yard line. Pierce. Good open field tackle across the way. Hustling down the field, Vincent Fuller. 12-yard return. So the Green Wave, with their second offensive possession of the ball game, will take over with a first down and 10 at the Tulane 17-yard line. Tigers moved it 35 yards in just 6 plays, capped off by Hodson to Fuller. 15-yard touchdown pass. Browndyke with a PAT. 7-0 LSU. Option. Jones. Tigers played it beautifully. And look at the offside linebacker hustling down the line to haul him down from behind. Ron Sancho playing his last game. And Bert Jones, he wants it to be a good one. That was a great play.
That was an excellent play. He's following the guard's pull. Ron Sancho all the way from the weak side, hoping that he can catch up to Jones. And he does, right down the line of scrimmage. That little bit of hesitation by Terrence Jones, thinking whether or not he should cut it in or not, gave Ron Sancho the opportunity to pull him down from behind.
Loss of 1. Green Wave facing a 2nd and 11. Jones wants to throw. There's the pass, and it's incomplete. and that was intended for Michael Pierce coming out of the backfield. Jones finds himself on his backside, and that is the best pass defense you can muster, and that's a good pass rush. Tigers got it from Phillips and Dunbar. There's a little LSU Tiger fan not worried about the weather.
Terrence Jones is coming into this game slightly injured. His right shoulder is hurt. Good thrower. Darrell Phillips is in your face.
How many of those does it take before you start to hear footsteps? But Jones is a tough kid. 3rd down and 11. Jones again to throw. He's in trouble. Scrambles to the left side, fires over the middle, had a man wide open, couldn't quite hold it, and that was a great try by Maurice Nelson out of Monroe, Louisiana, averaging over 20 yards per reception.
A pretty fine effort by Terrence Jones, too, avoiding the rush right after being canned the time before. Rusher's in his face, breaks it to the outside, but still holds the poise to be able to look downfield and throw the ball effectively.
Mark Boutte also had great pressure on Jones for LSU. Noisy to punt away the football. Greg Jansen standing at the LSU 49-yard line. And it's a high snap, but the Tigers don't have the rush on, and he nails one. Jackson backs up all the way to the 31-yard line, takes it on the run, tries to turn that corner, makes a good move, and turned what was absolutely nothing into a little bit of something. Let's go down to the sidelines with Mr. Greg Bowser.
Boyd and Lanny, the Tigers have played well defensively. Remember, they were without 2 starters, Clint James and Burge Osbury, who are not even suited out here tonight. So the Tigers have to be proud of that defense thus far. Let's go back to you guys.
Got a flag down on the play. That was a 54-yard punt and a 4-yard return. But let's wait and see who the infraction is against. And it looks like it's going to go against the Tigers of LSU. I think Tulane will probably take that position, Bert. That was a heck of a punt.
It certainly was. But wait a minute. He looks as if he may be marking it off against Tulane after the play was dead.
Well, let's wait and see. Now they're going to back it up.
Tigers penalized 10 yards.
So that'll back them up, Bert. I imagine they marked that from the point of the infraction back to the 24-yard line. So the Tigers now with about 76 yards to go. But if they move it at all like they did last time, as we take a look at the fine defensive coordinator for LSU, Pete Jenkins, what a job he's done, and his players love him, Bert. He's quite a guy.
He certainly is, and a fine coach.
Here's Wyndham. And he got tripped up at about the 26-yard line, fell forward to the 30, and had not Mr. Thornhill got a hand on that one, Bert, that could have been big yardage.
Calvin Wyndham is awful fast.
Last week, he only got 15 yards on 8 rushes, 5 receptions for 31, but he's been seeing quite a bit of playing time since Eddie Fuller's been hampered by that hip pointer. Tigers again in the eye. 2nd down and 2 following that 8-yard gain. Victor Jones still on his feet. Little guy runs hard. He's got a 1st down all the way to the 37-yard line. Richard Harvey made the tackle. He's the left inside linebacker. So that'll move the chains, and the Tigers have a 1st down at the 38-yard line. 4:38 to go. LSU leading Tulane by a score of 7-0. Jones and Wyndham. Wyndham gets a call. He's across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Pat Stant made the tackle. Bert, incidentally, Tulane has been giving up 217 yards per game on the ground and 195 passing, so that's 412 yards a game. And the same old bugaboo seems to be there. Their difficulty just comes in stopping people.
That is correct. They've always been able to move the ball here of late with Terrence Jones, but they haven't been able to stop him, and I understand why. They seem to be doing some unusual things on defense.
Straight ahead, down across that 40. They'll push him back all the way to the 39-yard line, but his forward progress should get him close to that 44-yard line. Wyndham again on the carry. 3:35 to go, 1st quarter. LSU leading Tulane by a score of 7-0. Tigers now facing a 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Ball spotted at about the 43-yard line. Hudson wants to throw. Man wide open. Wyndham's got it. And he's got a 1st down at the 35-yard line. Mitchell Price, the free safety, come up to knock him down, but a 22-yard gain on the play, and the Tigers are moving the football.
You see 3 wide receivers to one side. Wyndham is the 3rd man. They're looking for Tony Moss to get the ball as much as possible. That being Tulane, leaves Wyndham down the middle open. Tommy Hudson does a fine job reading it and getting the ball to him.
And you can see Tommy's numbers down a little bit from last year, about 275 yards less. And a little more trouble with the interception department, but still a pretty good season for the junior quarterback, who rolls to the right side and just flips it out to Wyndham. And he's not going to get too much as he gets down to about the 32 or 33-yard line. Lonnie Martz, left outside linebacker for the Green Wave of Tulane, knocked him out of bounds on the play.
He really doesn't get much, but what he does do, that being Tommy Hudson, is he avoids the big loss there. He was behind the line of scrimmage with not much to do with the ball. He was able to dump it off, pick up a yard, but he saved himself from losing 7 or 8 yards and stopping this drive.
LSU at the Tulane 34-yard line with a 2nd down and about 9 yards to go. Draw play, Victor Jones. And he fights his way to about the 27-yard line. Pretty good hole opened up there on the left side. Harvey coming up to make the tackle. And it appears as though the rain is just about stopped at Tiger Stadium. It really came down at about 5:45, and of course was raining ever so lightly when the ball game got underway. But the field, for the most part, in pretty good shape because it was covered throughout most of the afternoon. They didn't take the tarp off until about 10 minutes to 6.
And the LSU's doing some funny things with their offensive formations, which puts a lot of pressure on Tulane. Wyndham out on the slot again this time. There he is over the middle.
3rd and 3. It's complete to Wyndham down to the 16-yard line. I don't know how he got that ball through there. Mitchell Price made the tackle on the play, but Tommy Hudson just threaded a needle on that one, and the Tigers pick up 12 yards and a big 1st down.
Tommy dropping back. It's a zone all the way. Tommy Reed and Wyndham coming across the middle and threads the needle right there.
LSU knocking at the door again with a 1st down, just shy of the 15-yard line. Tommy Hudson, 8 of 11, 109 yards, and 1 touchdown. Wyndham 3 catches tonight for 35 yards. And getting down to about the 15-yard line for a gain of about a half a yard is Eddie Fuller. Rafe Benford made the tackle. Fuller, of course, has done a great job in filling in for Harvey Williams since the start of the season. Out of Leesville, he's just a junior, a 5'10", 198-pounder, coming into the game as a leading rusher for LSU with 642 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, and 4 receiving. Make that 5 after the one tonight.
Correct.
2nd down, 9. Ball at the 15-yard line. Fuller in a slot on the right side. Straight ahead, Victor Jones fights his way down to about the 11-yard line for a gain of about 4.
Span made the stop for Tulane.
They spread the formation out by putting the man in the slot, leaving Victor Jones the only back in the backfield, and they just bring a trap inside, and it gives him good yardage right up the middle. Spread the defense out, split them through the middle.
3 receivers to the left side on a 3rd down and 6. LSU, Hudson wants to throw. Going for the corner of the end zone for Tony Moss, and it's overshot. Good effort by Moss. Mitchell Price with the coverage on the play, and Mr. Automatic checks into the ball game for the Tigers of LSU, David Browndyke. 16 of 19 field goals he's converted this year, his longest of 42 yards, and what a kicker he has become. He is the 3rd longest string bird in SEC history, though 77 straight, 78 now after the one he's kicked tonight. He will be kicking from about the 18-yard line. This will be a 28-yard attempt. Mook will hold. The kick is up. And he drills it. 12 seconds to go as the first quarter is winding down. From Tiger Stadium at Baton Rouge, the LSU Tigers lead Tulane by a score of 10-0.
This is Sunshine Network, Florida's only sports and public affairs network.
Steel. Muscle. It takes one to perfect the other. And nobody knows that better than Soloflex. Before you take your Soloflex through its workout stations, we put it through some of our own. We start with raw materials. Use force and resistance, knowledge and skill, effort and technique to create a strong, balanced, and functional work of art. All of which goes to show the way we build Soloflex is a lot like the way you use it. For a free brochure, call anytime.
And we're back at Tiger Stadium. LSU has jumped out to a 10-0 lead over Tulane. Rainy night in Baton Rouge, but another good turnout as we see Mickey Guidry warming up, and he'll probably make his normal appearance in the second quarter of the ball game. And he has really supplied the Tigers with a spark pretty much throughout the year, Bert, every time he's gone into the ball game.
He certainly has. He's a fine player, probably starting with almost any other team in the country, and does a fine job. He's in a hard position here playing behind a great Tommy Hodson, though.
Browndyke's kick taken at the 10 to the 15 by Pierce to the 20 and up to the 25-yard line. Once again, the Tigers hustling downfield, just a 14-yard return. Eric Middleton made the tackle, one of those fine kamikaze special teams players for the Tigers of LSU.
Kamikaze, this is true.
Tigers moved at 65 yards in 12 plays, 5:18 on the clock. Browndyke capped it off with a 28-yard field goal. 6 seconds to go, first quarter. Time for just about one more play. And the Tulane Green Wave having a lot of trouble moving at football. Terrence Jones. Pass. Pierce couldn't hold it at about the 29-yard line. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of the ball game. Ball thrown a little bit low. He tried to go down to the ground and hold on to it. Couldn't quite hold on to it as he hit the ground. So we're going to break here with LSU leading Tulane by a score of 10-0. We've played one at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge.
When there are large crowds and increased risk of accidents or sudden illnesses there, Acadian Ambulance is there.
We believe in going that extra yard to help the communities we serve, like standing by at high school football games such as this one. The Cajun word is lanyard, something extra. Being here is part of the lanyard that goes with the Acadian Ambulance membership program. First aid training is another service we provide. It's a way of giving something back to the community.
Wherever there is a community need, we are there. Acadian Ambulance and Air Med Service, a major sponsor of LSU athletics.
Tulane with the football, a second down, 10 yards to go at their own 25-yard line. And the fans are loving the output of the LSU Tigers here in the early going as the Tigers have really dominated the ball game. Tulane has 3 yards total, LSU 148. That kind of tells the story right there at this stage. Tulane with a second down and 10, but Jones, if given some time, can really make things happen and happen in a hurry. Jones again to throw. In trouble, rushes for what he can get, and he falls down at the 27-yard line for a gain of just a couple of yards on the play. Boutte put pretty good pressure on him that time for the Tigers of LSU as we look at that big Tiger offensive front.
Terrence Jones showing you the mobility that he really does have. Looking for a receiver, can't find any. Goes upfield, stumbles, slides in for a 1-yard gain. The key. Keeps them in position to make a third down.
Third down and 9, Green Wave. Jones rolls left. Trying to direct a little traffic, and the pass is complete to McIntosh, but we've got a flag down. McIntosh will get it at about the 48-yard line.
There are 2 flags down. One of them, I believe Eric Hill was a little late on Terrence Jones on the sideline after he threw the ball. The other one possibly looked like in the holding or offsides area. But a fine athletic effort by Terrence Jones there.
22-yard gain on the play, but let's see if they bring this one back, as we may have offsetting penalties. Maybe roughing the passer. And a holding call against Tulane. If that's the case, we'll just do it over again. Let's wait for the official word from the referee. 14-14 to go, second quarter. LSU leading Tulane by a score of 10-0. And the Tigers looking very impressive in the early going. That's it. We'll just do it over again.
We have offsetting penalties, ladies and gentlemen. Personal foul against LSU, holding against Tulane.
Terrence Jones getting to the outside here, avoiding the rush right there. Fine throw. I tell you, he has a gun. We don't see the late hit over on Terrence Jones, but I'm sure it was there or they would not have thrown the flag.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Well, 149 yards to 3, Bert, after 1 quarter. That's about as dominating as you can get. But, you know, Jones is always dangerous.
Yes, of course, they haven't had the greatest field position, that being Tulane, starting out in the first quarter. And we need to maintain that. We need to stop them once again here. 3rd and 9.
14 minutes remaining, first half. Tulane has McIntosh split out to the near side. Terrence Jones drops straight back. He's in trouble, and he's going to be down at the 21-yard line. And what a defensive play by Carl Dunbar, the defensive left end for the Tigers of LSU. He just knocked actually one of those blockers right back into Jones.
Well, the pressure, they're just constantly pushing them back. I think Dunbar earlier was there when I called Phillips in his face. I believe it was Dunbar that was right in his face, and Phillips coming later. The constant pressure is harassing Terrence Jones and not giving him an opportunity to look downfield and throw the ball.
Noisy to punt for Tulane. He'll kick from about the 12-yard line. Greg Jackson standing at the LSU 36. Tigers came with a lot of people, but he got the kick away. And it's a short kick, but it takes a bounce in favor of Tulane. And will be down inside the 45-yard line. So LSU once again will take over following a 35-yard punt in beautiful field position at the 45-yard line. And they'll take over with a first down and 10 yards to go. And they already lead in the ball game by a score of 10-0. Bert, what about it? Pretty impressive opening quarter for LSU.
Certainly LSU is doing the things correctly in order to win. They're stopping them on defense, and they're moving the ball very effectively on offense.
Well, it's a pretty solid first quarter of action for the Tigers of LSU, no doubt about it. And they're in pretty good shape right now as we take a look at the LSU Tigers as they pitch it back to Eddie Fuller. Slices his way down inside the 50-yard line. Mickey Guidry now in the game at quarterback for the Tigers of LSU. And he is a relief pitcher personified. He has really done a great job, giving the Tigers a much-needed spark when Hodson's had a little slow going a few times early in the season, and really having a good year and throwing the football, Bert, completing about 67% of his passes. That's not bad in any league.
I say that's a good year all the way around.
Eddie Fuller, and don't forget he's been hurt with a hip pointer for a couple of ball games. Pretty good numbers for him. Guidry rolls right, wants to throw. It's complete to Tony Moss to the 30. He's down to the 27-yard line. So Guidry wastes little time in making things happen. Credit Tony Moss with a gain of 23. Good throw by Guidry. Good run by Moss. Tigers are in business just shy of the 26.
Mickey Guidry rolling out to his right, sees Tony Moss on a deep down and out behind the man clearing out. Tony Moss does what he always does when he catches a ball, avoids the first tackler and moves it upfield.
First down, LSU. Tigers in the eye. Here's Eddie Fuller. Power running down inside the 25 to about the 22. Left side linebacker Pat Stant. Sophomore out of New Orleans, 6'4", 216-pounder, made the tackle on the play. .11:33 to go, first half. LSU up 10-0.
and moving the ball again.
2nd down and 6 at the Tulane 22. Tony Moss split left. Alvin Lee to the right. Mickey Guidry pitches out to Fuller. He got back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's just about all. Tulane had a lot of people to the football that time, led by right outside linebacker Leroy Brown, 6'3", 246-pound sophomore out of Shreveport, Louisiana. No gain on the play. Halliburton checks in at tight end. Willie Williams comes out for the LSU Tigers. 3rd down and 6. Mickey Guidry thrown for 257 yards coming into the ball game. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Tigers with a slot left formation. And I don't believe they got the play off in time, or am I hearing a whistle? Too much time. Didn't get it off in time. He probably checked off down there, Burton. That extra few seconds, just a little bit too much.
There's no question about it. They were showing blitz, came with blitz. Mickey Guidry alertly saw the blitz, tried to get into another play that would be more effective than what he had, but it was just a little bit late.
So they'll back up the Tigers 5 yards and make it 3rd down and a short 11. Ball resting right on that 27-yard line in Tulane territory. Tigers have really moved the football. Split backs. Now they send Fuller in motion to the right side. He's always dangerous coming out of the backfield. Guidry wants to go for all of it in the end zone. It's knocked away. Pass was intended for Alvin Lee. Covered very well by cornerback Mark Thornhill, who leaped up there at the last minute to knock that football down. And we'll see Browndyke again.
Broken up by Thornhill. 4th down for the Tigers.
So Browndyke will attempt the field goal from the 35-yard line. This will be a 45-yard attempt. He already has a 28-yarder to his credit in the ball game. They're going to move it up a yard to the 34. So it'll be a 44-yarder. His longest of the year has been just 42 yards. Mook will hold. Here's the snap. Kick is up. He's got the distance. But it's off to the right. So the Tigers that time got it down there close, but come up empty. He doesn't miss very often, Bird. He'd only missed 3 coming into tonight's ball game. The LSU Tigers up by a score of 10-0. And it's been total domination at this point.
That's correct, and one of the 3 that he missed last week was really a bad hole where the rain was so bad, as you see it here, just hooked it a little bit to the left and goes right outside the goalpost.
Tulane has yet to get a first down. Jones zips one. They've got one now. McIntosh to the 45, the 50. He's down to the LSU 48-yard line. Gain of 25 big ones. Bice made the tackle. Eric Hill helped out on the play. So dangerous. Jones can make things happen in a hurry.
And McIntosh showing his skills after he catches the ball, avoiding a tackler, moving it up the field very well. 25 yards, a big 25 yards.
He's their leading receiver coming into the ball game. 844 yards and 47 receptions, 7 touchdowns. Jones has the time, unloads to McIntosh. Tigers down him at the 37-yard line, but it should be enough for another Tulane Greenway first down. Jimmy Young made the tackle. Tigers left side cornerback. Gain of 11.
Both McIntosh and Jones are excellent athletes. As a matter of fact, McIntosh is a backup quarterback for Tulane. In case anything happens to Terrence Jones, you're liable to see him in at the quarterback position. And I'm not so sure Terrence Jones couldn't be a receiver for you, too.
I believe you're right. Or maybe a running back. There goes Pierce fighting his way down to about the 34-yard line. Bert, you know, you made a good point. I remember a few years ago, Frank Broyles at Arkansas used to get a lot of high school quarterbacks coming in there, and he'd put them all over the place. They play linebacker, defensive back, as we look at Saul Graves warming up. But usually, in a high school football program, the quarterback's the best athlete, so they put a little meat on him. He can play anywhere.
Well, Lanny, I'm glad you said that. Being a quarterback, I certainly didn't want to say quarterbacks were always the best athlete.
I knew you'd agree with that one. Terrence Jones zips it, and that's complete to Pierce coming out of the backfield down at the 30-yard line.
Jones' pass is complete to Pierce
8:34 to go, second quarter. And that's going to be a gain of about 7. And that's going to be about 3 yards shy of a first down. As we look at the LSU Tiger cheerleaders. And the crowd is into this one. Option play. Jones keeps. First down and more. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Can you believe that? After 19 minutes of futility, all of a sudden, Tulane's offense has come to life.
Well, Terrence Jones certainly has put some fire in him. Here you'll see him just coming down on the option play. Not only showing he's a good athlete, but showing he has speed also. Breaks the tackle there, brings it right on into the end zone. Heavily recruited by LSU. Decided to go to Tulane because he felt like that their system was a little more conducive to his style of play. He didn't think he was a drop-back passer, which LSU does primarily.
Well, there's Wiggins with the extra point. And we've got a ball game with 8:04 to go in the second quarter. Tulane has narrowed this thing considerably. It's timeout with a score, LSU 10, Tulane 7.
Making ends meet hasn't been easy with 3 of us at home. Jobs are pretty scarce around here, especially since neither my husband or me finished school. Things are going to be different for this one. He's going to stay in high school if I have to tie him to his chair. Sometimes I wish someone had done me that way.
If somebody is having an off night, take charge. We lose too many lives when fans drink and drive. So have your friend pass the keys. It's the biggest assist he can make.
10-7, LSU over Tulane. Total domination by LSU. That doesn't mean a thing right now. It's a 3-point ball game as Tulane's offense has really come to life. 30-yard touchdown run by Terrence Jones gets the green wave on the board. Wiggins kick. Taken by the Tigers at the 7. Still on his feet. Good return. Danny Michael made the tackle. Return of 24 yards.
Once again, Terrence Jones shows what kind of athlete he really is. He knew he was going to keep the ball from the get-go. Turned it up the field, outran some men, brought it on up the field, and shows that he possibly could have dribbled the ball between his legs, and a good basketball player, too.
Green Wave took it 73 yards in just 5 plays. Jones capped it off with that 30-yard run. Hodson back in there at quarterback, bowling his way to about the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. That's Mulmore with the tackle on Fuller. There he is, Terrence Jones, and what an athlete. Leading rusher on the team, 397 yards coming into tonight's ball game. And what a game he had against the Tigers last year, Bert, passing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
They said the thing they had to do was stop Terrence Jones.
Second down, 7. Hodson wants to throw. He's going to scramble. And he'll go out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, and the crowd wants a flag thrown for what they thought was a late hit on the play. Benford over there giving chase.
Tommy Hodson showing he's pretty mobile himself. Brings it around the corner. Riding him out of bounds there.
First down for the Tigers.
There's no love lost between these two teams. Fine play. Tommy Hodson picks up the first down.
So that'll move the chains to the 41-yard line. At the 41, LSU with a first down and 10 yards to go. Tigers leading by 3 as things have tightened up considerably. Hodson, boy, look at the time he had. Unloads it to the outside. and knocked out of bounds across the way. Burton knocked Watkins out of bounds over there, slipped Watkins now in the ball game. Going to rule his forward progress to about that 44-yard line.
Slip Watkins slipped a tackler there that was coming from about 10 yards with a running start. Good peripheral vision while catching the football to avoid that hit.
Darrell Williams in there at running back along with Eddie Fuller. Second down and about 8. Hudson again to throw, steps up in the pocket. Flag is down. We may have a holding call down there at about the 42-yard line as Tommy tries to get what he can and gets it to about the 47-yard line, and that's all.
Tommy, seeing how effective Terrence Jones is on the ground, may have second thoughts about his running ability, so he's coming on.
Well, when those linemen get to running around like that, you just start grabbing, and let's see if we can catch it right here.
Hudson dropping back. They can basically call holding on any play they want to. But when the quarterback gets up in there with the lineman, it brings more eyes to the offensive lineman, and it makes it a little more obvious in case you have your arms extended.
And the Tigers have been penalized 4 times for 35 yards. Six minutes and 40 seconds remaining. LSU leads Tulane 10-7. Still in the first half. Hudson wants to throw. He's got Tony Moss. Couldn't hold it at the 45-yard line. You know, you got to give Tommy credit, Bert. He's had a lot of passes dropped this year, and you really don't see him get on his guys too much. It takes a lot of composure on his part because you want to say, doggone it, why don't you catch those balls?
Well, that's true in one sense, but he's a competitor. He knows that they're trying as hard as he is out there. And I always had a tendency, the only time I got on players, and I'm sure it's the same for Tommy Hudson, is when they mentally broke down. They did not go the right way. That's what really makes a quarterback mad. Drop balls are going to happen.
Third down, 17 yards to go. Hudson, great protection, unloads it. But it's going to be shy of the first down as he gets only Slip Watkins to about the 44-yard line. So the Tigers will have to punt away the football. That was a big defensive series for the Green Wave of Tulane, no doubt about it, because offensively, Bert, they've got to have a little momentum going into this next possession.
If they don't have momentum after that last drive where they just marched down and scored on LSU, I don't think they ever will. Tommy Hudson did well there. The one penalty certainly hurt them a lot on that, and they have 10 men rushing this punt.
Tommy 10 of 15 for 117 yards. Bourgeois' kick. Taking it to 12, to the 15, and look at the Tigers hustle downfield as they nail Pierce at the 18-yard line. 46-yard punt, 4-yard return, hustling downfield to make the hit. Darrell Williams for the Tigers of LSU.
Lanny, that certainly is a lonely feeling, I bet, being down there after having sent all 10 of the other men on the football field to rush the punter, knowing that 10 men were coming to get you, and Darrell Phillips, the first man, comes through, brings it right on in there. Darrell Williams, excuse me, comes on in and nails it.
First down, 10. Jones fires the pass, and that one's dropped at the 21-yard line. Arish Nelson, he got hit hard, but the ball squirted loose before the defensive back got to him.
Jones's pass intended for Nelson.
Terrence Jones puts it on the mark, but Jamie Bice was there just in time. There's the ball, but there's the hit. And what a hit it was.
Melvin Ferdinand is split out to the near side. Jones again to throw, but the flags are down, and they may not have gotten, well, the clock's still running, the 25-second clock, so that obviously was not the call. Let's wait and see what it is from the officials down there on the field. And it's going to be a legal procedure.
You can't move if you're the right tackle once you put that hand down.
Kenyo, it appeared to be just a little bit over anxious. 5:35 to go, first half. LSU leads Tulane by a score of 10-7. Tigers totally dominated the first quarter, 149 yards to 3. But just a moment ago on the last drive, Tulane came to life. Let's see if they can do it again on a second down at 15. Jones fakes. They try to set up a quick screen to the far side, and he'll only get to about the 15-yard line. Tigers smelled that one out and adjusted to that play very, very well.
Jones' pass is complete.
McIntosh on the reception. Merla and Eric Hill combined to make the tackle.
Lanny, that's a situation where on defense you're always hollering, watch the screen, watch the draw. 2nd and 15, it's a natural for that kind of play. Eric Hill, playing the outside linebacker with the experience that he has, saw the screen all the way, saw the lineman coming out, saw the back coming out, and moved in and made the play.
So it'll be a third down at about 12. We got a timeout on the field with a score, LSU 10, Tulane 7.
Working in Latin America isn't everyone's idea of how to spend their retirement. But not everyone's like Peace Corps volunteer Virginia White. Her lifetime of experience has given new life to this community. Water to once arid fields, produce where crops never grew before. She's helping people to help themselves and others. No matter what your skill, you don't know how much you have to offer until you offer it, and then reap the rewards. Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Follow horse racing on Sunshine Network with weekday updates from Calder Racecourse.
And we look at the LSU bench, and that's Clint James standing there. And what a player he's been for the LSU Tigers this year at defensive right end, a 6'6", 259-pound junior.
I know he hates missing this game, but next year he'll be back.
He's been a good one. Third down, 12 yards to go. Tulane at the 15-yard line. Tiger defense trying to get their feet back on the ground as they really stopped them early. Jones again to throw. Fires the ball. Incomplete. McIntosh couldn't hold it at about the 32-yard line. Bert, that was a good throw. He had to go up in the air, but he should have had it.
He was over the middle. You have to stick that ball when you're throwing it that far down the middle, and he did. It was just a little bit high. Tough catch, but a good throw. One of those things that could have been. Thankfully for LSU, it wasn't.
Noisy will punt the football to Greg Jackson. And the Tiger senior is standing at the 45-yard line. Noisy will kick from about the 5 or 6 yard line. Tigers are coming with a lot of people, and he gets the kick off, and it's not a bad kick. Greg Jackson calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 47-yard line. 33-yard punt, no return. So the Tigers, needing a little insurance, will try to start moving the football in pretty good field position once again. And Bert, a pretty good rush right here.
Excellent rush. They're oh so very close. Even the punter thinks it. He sticks his leg back in thinking they're going to hit him.
Sancho almost got to it. LSU with a first down at the Tulane Green Wave 47-yard line. Looked as though the Tigers were going to run away with this game the way it started, but Tulane has come back and played much better. And we've got ourselves a football game at Tiger Stadium. Tulane showed blitz. Hodson, Alvin Lee scrambles to the 33-yard line. Doug Adams, the left side cornerback, made the tackle, but give Alvin Lee a gain of 14 yards.
Alvin Lee made a fine reception, but give credit to Tommy Hodson on this one. Even though it takes two to tango, he stuck this ball. You don't see that very often from Tommy Hodson. He put some zip on that ball. There was some fire coming out.
Alvin Lee, the Tigers' second leading receiver, coming into the game with 458 yards for 3 touchdowns. LSU first and 10 at the 33-yard line. Here's a reverse to Moss. To the 25, and he's down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. And almost beheaded by number 86, a gain of 20 yards on the play. But Lonnie Martz really took a shot at him.
Tommy Hodson, good play fake. Tony Moss coming around. Todd Kuti couldn't find anybody to block. There was no one. He fooled everyone, so he kind of held up Had he gone on, he might have been able to make that one block. Excellent game. Tony Ball shows you that he can move the ball when he has it.
Well, Bert, that was some fake. I think Wyndham got hit harder on that play than when he carried the football. He really got crunched, but it really set up the reverse by Tony Moss. Tigers are in business at the 13-yard line. 3:51 remaining. We're still in the first half. LSU leads by 3, trying to get some more. Wyndham high steps his way down to the 11-yard line. 3:35 to go in the first half. Pat Stant made the tackle. 6'4", 216-pound sophomore. Left inside linebacker. Tigers at the 11-yard line, following a gain of just a couple. Second down and a short 8. There you see the clock running with 3:15 and counting.
8 was never short for me.
Good look at that Tiger offensive line. Wyndham. He's close. Did he get in? Tigers say yes, but I believe they're going to rule him down at about the 1-yard line. But what a quick hitter right up the middle. Mitchell Price, Linzer Burton made the tackle on the play, but a good run right up the middle by Calvin Wyndham.
Right up the middle. Anytime your two safeties have to make a tackle on the run up the middle, you know it's going to be a big gainer. And he's oh so very close, but they marked it right, short by half a yard.
Well, his knee went down first, but the Tigers are right now knocking at the door. First down and goal to go. Tom Hodson has Williams and Jones. Jones gets the call. Jones is close. I don't think he broke the plane. Good defensive charge by the defensive right side of the Tulane Green Wave defensive line. They just stood him up at just about the line of scrimmage. And it appeared to be Treadway, the first man to hit him, with help from Eric Racklin. Ball just about where it was just a moment ago. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. LSU trying to add to that 10-7 lead. Jones and Williams again. Williams in motion. Pitch out, Jones. I thought he made it, but the officials say he didn't. Looked like he had that forward lean, but I guess he didn't get it in. And credit Richard Harvey with a big hit. And you got to give Tulane credit right here, Bert. They are not giving an inch.
They certainly didn't. The play was designed to go outside. Jones thinks he can get it to the inside. Hard to tell from here whether or not he did. Fine defensive play by Tulane.
Third down and goal. And look at the football, probably 4 or 5 inches from the goal line. Tigers in the eye. Lee in motion, comes back to the near side. Wyndham dives in for the touchdown. To T. Rodrigue Norwood on the left side. 8 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown for Wyndham.
And equally as impressive on this was the lead block by Victor Jones. The offensive lineman watched the surge, move forward. They got a crack. Victor Jones fills it, and boom, there's a hole all the way into the end zone.
Brown Dyke, extra point attempt is up. It's good. And with 1:15 remaining in the first half, the LSU Tigers have jumped out to a 10-point margin over the Green Wave from Tulane University.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are some scores.
So Brown Dyke now owns 79 extra point conversions in a row. Not bad.
Very good.
Mississippi 33, Mississippi State 6, Tennessee 13.
Offensive line surge looking good. Victor Jones leads through.
Southern Cal.
Plenty of room all the way.
Texas A&M 28. Texas.
Calvin Wyndham, you'll be able to see that lead block coming. This is a toss right before Victor Jones trying to come around. Turned it to the inside, but was rejected. They came back with the I formation, lead to the left side. Effective, came right through. They split the lines on the defense and came and found the crack through the middle.
3.
And we just got a score from the Superdome down in New Orleans, and Southern has beaten Grambling by a score of 10-3. Coach Eddie Robinson's crew came into that ball game with an 8-2 mark. So Marino Cassim and the Southern Jaguars do it for the Grambling Tigers for 2 years in a row. Here's the kickoff coming downfield. The 10 to the 15. Pierce to the 20. That's all. Tigers again with good coverage downfield, just 10 yards on the return. Baubacher and Williams on the tackle.
Williams is doing an excellent job on the special teams. Truly a headhunter coming down the field.
Tigers took it 47 yards in 7 plays to make it 17-7. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Terrence Jones, he proved earlier, he can make things happen in a hurry. Quarterback draw. Tries to slide to the outside. Did a lot of running to get only 1 yard. Jimmy Young finally brought him down at the 21-yard line.
Two fine athletes there going head-to-head. Terrence Jones and Jimmy Young. Both quick-feeted, quick-foot.
Something like that.
Something like that. They have 2 feet that move very fast underneath them.
Birdie's 4 of 9 in the passing department for 43 yards. And, of course, the big play of the ball game at 30-yard scamper for a touchdown down the right sideline. He's a good one. 35 seconds to go in the first half. Tulane, wide receivers, both sides of the field. Here's that quarterback draw again, and why not? And Jones scampers for about 12 big ones to the 32-yard line.
Jones carried.
Only 25 seconds left in the first half of play. Timeout here.
Stop by Harmon and Hill.
Well, Bert, they're moving the football pretty well in spots, and Tulane wants to talk it over a little bit. Heck, they think they can take it the length of the field in 22 seconds. But with Jones back there, we've said it many times, he can make things happen in a hurry. He certainly proved that just a couple of minutes ago.
Well, he can do a lot of things. He certainly does well via the run, as we saw with that 30-yard running play there.
Well, Bert, it's been a hard-hitting football game thus far. LSU really dominated the first quarter. The big drive by Tulane in the second quarter kind of turned this thing around, and the Tigers did just momentarily a few moments ago what they needed to do, and that was answer that touchdown drive with one of their own.
That is correct. And Tulane started out with 1 minute 10 seconds on the clock when they got the ball here. They've run off 50 seconds already when they could have had an opportunity to try to move the ball, but it looks like they're going to be content with getting the ball out of their field of play and moving it downfield. They have timeout now, which means tends to think that they may think that they can move it down, but they haven't thrown the ball yet. They've run Terrence Jones twice, and both times have picked up yards, but equally as important, it has run the clock down.
Jones has 7 rushes for 37 yards, 4 of 9 in the passing department for 43. The rest of the team has 8 yards in the ball game. Jones fires the pass, incomplete, too low for the intended receiver at the 48-yard line. That was Maurice Nelson.
Jones's pass.
16 seconds remaining. Let's go down the field of Greg Bowser.
Lanny, I've got someone with me here. Mr. Williams, you're beginning to get into the Tulane-LSU rivalry.
Yes, I was last Tulane game. I was out in San Diego, and I was able to watch it on TV. This time I was lucky enough, thank God, I was able to drive down and get a chance to see both of the sons in action tonight.
So you've got Darrell is out there tonight, but Harvey's not playing.
Yes, Harvey, he'll be back next September. Darrell's, he started this year, and he seemed to be doing pretty well. I'm just glad to see both of them live and kicking well down here in Louisiana. I love it. The crowd, the enthusiasm of the crowd, and everything's just wonderful.
Lanny and Burke, that's someone who really gets into the LSU Tulane game now. Mr. Williams, let's go back to you guys.
That pass was to Melvin Ferdinand, incomplete. That used off a few more seconds on the clock, so we get 9 seconds remaining in the first half of the ball game. 3rd down and 10 for the Green Wave at the 33-yard line. Nelson split out to the near side. Jones, they run the draw. And up across the 40 to about the 43-yard line goes the fullback Melvin Adams, brought down by Mike Murrah. And that's going to do it for the first half of this football game from Tiger Stadium as we look at Mike Archer running off the field with his LSU Tigers, the 16th ranked team in the nation, coming into the ball game tonight. And what a job he's done in just 2 short years as head coach of the LSU Tigers. Well, a pretty good crowd turned out at Tiger Stadium tonight. We had the rain when the ball game started. A lot of faithful, Bert, that like to come down to Tiger Town and watch these LSU Tigers perform as we take a look at Tom Hodson. Timeout on the field with the score, LSU 17, the Green Wave of Tulane 7.
Call now. 89 Magic. With season tickets, you can catch the magic and capture memories that'll last a lifetime.
To really make Orlando a world-class city, the only thing that's missing here is Major League Sports. Well, now we're on the verge of having Major League Sports here. We're within months of getting it if we can get to this 10,000 ticket mark.
Call now. 89 Magic. With season tickets, you can catch the magic.
The greatest athletes in the world. The clock is ticking.
We have been fascinated from the beginning. As a machine, the human body remains a supreme invention. To unlock its potential, we offer SoloFlex. Simple and efficient, like the body itself. Which may explain why SoloFlex looks less like a machine and more like a work of art.
Ball game, LSU 249 yards, Tulane 96, and they got most of those in the second quarter, didn't they?
They got almost all of them in the second quarter on one drive, capped off by a 30-yard touchdown by Terrence Jones. Fine run, fine player.
Well, it should be an interesting second half. We talked about the danger of Terrence Jones. We saw it exemplified, Bert, the way he moved the football, especially on the ground with that 30-yard run for a touchdown.
And Wayne Williams, our deep for the Tigers, Wiggins, is kicking off for Tulane.
Wiggins will kick off from the 35-yard line to start the second half. Here's the kick coming downfield. Taken by Fuller to the 20.
Benson Fuller.
Good return to the 30-yard line. There are the official statistics. LSU 12 first downs. Tulane had 4. Tigers carried the ball for 90 yards. Tulane had 54. Passing yardage, LSU 159, Tulane 42. Tigers up 249 to 96. And at possession time, that's a big figure right there, Bert. 20 minutes and 12 seconds for LSU to just 9:48 for Tulane.
Twice as long. That shows you what can happen.
LSU with a first down at the Tiger 30-yard line. Tom Hodson pitches back to Fuller. And he's up to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Vincent Mulmore, the right side inside linebacker, made the stop out of Marrero, a 6', 235-pound junior.
And once again, Lanny, Death Valley answers to its call. There were 75,497 people paid to come in tonight.
On a rainy night.
In Baton Rouge.
That's right. Second down and 8. Tigers with a slot to the right. Man in motion. Pass incomplete. Fuller reached high in the air, tried to one-hand it at about the 35-yard line. At that time, Tulane put some pretty good heat on the quarterback.
Tulane trying to establish a different tempo for the second half as opposed to the first half. Coming up, bringing up 3rd and long for LSU.
3rd down and 7. And the ball just shy of the 33-yard line. LSU pretty good on 3rd downs tonight. 6 of 9 conversions. Tom Hodson drops straight back. Wants to throw. Unloads the football and is complete to Egloff coming out of the backfield up to about the 37-yard line, but it appears as though the Tigers may be guilty of an infraction on the play.
And ooh, that was awful close to an interception there.
Sure was. And let's see what the Tigers are going to be assessed with here. Well, that appeared to be a face mask call against the offensive team, and that's something you don't see too often.
No, it's kind of like the same thing as holding. It just happened that the holding happened on the face mask.
Here's Mike Archer in his second year as head man of the LSU Tigers. 10-1-1 last year. 7-3 coming into the season-ending game tonight with the Green Wave of Tulane. 13:57 remaining in the third quarter. Bourgeois in to punt the football. Price is the deep man, standing at about the 18-yard line.
Price is deep for Tulane.
4th down and 2. And he really gets a lot into this one. Price backed up all the way to the 12-yard line. Squirms his way for about 8 yards to the 20-yard line. 50-yard punt by Bourgeois. We look at some of those LSU Tiger fans. Andy Lofton made the tackle on the play.
Excellent coverage on that punt because it was not a real high punt. It didn't move high in the air, which didn't give the LSU cover team much opportunity or much time to cover the punt, but they did get down there and stop it in return.
Here are the numbers on Terrence Jones. 4 completions out of 11 attempts for 42 yards. And, of course, he had the big 30-yard run for the Tulane touchdown. And something going on down there as the officials whistle it dead. 13:28 to go, third quarter of the ball game. Now we're ready at the 20-yard line. LSU leads 17-7. Terrence Jones runs the option. Pitches back. Beautiful open field tackle. And hustling over there was Jamie Bice, the strong safety. And they played that one beautifully as Pierce couldn't get around the corner.
Jamie Bice, coming from a strong safety position, just forces the option play to go real wide and then comes in and makes a play and hurts his hand as he comes out of the game. But a fine play on Jamie Bice's play.
And Burt Jones, a lot of those purple jerseys around that football. Second down, just a little bit less than 10. Jones fires, and it's complete to Ferdinand, and he's got a first down up across the 30 to about the 32 or 33-yard line. Rudy Harmon made the tackle on the play.
On the reception from Jones.
Ferdinand, a 6'2", 195-pound sophomore out of New Orleans. And they'll give his forward progress to the 34. So Tulane with a first down. Tulane had only 4 first downs the entire first half. Quick count by Jones. Little swing pass to the outside. And fighting his way to about the 39-yard line. Rodney Hunter out of the backfield. Corey Raymond, redshirt freshman strong safety, made the tackle. A 6', 195-pounder for the Tigers of LSU. Second down, 5. So the Green Wave mixing it up quite a bit, seeing a lot of their arsenal tonight being thrown against the Tigers of LSU. Tigers, for the most part, have defensed them pretty well. Option again, pitch back to Pierce, trying to turn the corner. Dives across that 40 to about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. Corey Raymond again on the tackle defensively for LSU. And he appears to be 2 or 3 yards shy of that first down. They need to get to about the 44. And the ball will be spotted at about the 42-yard line. So the Green Wave with the third down, a little bit more than 1, Bert.
Corey Raymond coming in, doing a fine job at strong safety. Jamie Bice injured his hand, I believe, on the sideline.
Here's a handoff to Pierce. He's going to be close. The Tigers stand him up at about the 44-yard line. Eric Hill, the right outside linebacker, 6'2", 256-pound senior. And what a team leader he's been defensively. One of the co-captains for the LSU Tigers. And the Tulane Green Wave gets the first down.
Raymond and Merla defensively for the Tigers.
11:35 remaining, third quarter.
And Tulane's moving the ball right now.
Well, they certainly are with a first down at the 44. Split out to the near side is Melvin Ferdinand. Terrence Jones again to throw. Fires it, almost picked off. Jimmy Young was diving for the football, couldn't quite hold on to it.
Instead, correction. Terrence Jones's pass.
So it'll be second down and 10 yards.
Terrence Jones drops back trying to throw it out. You'll probably see why Jimmy Young is a defensive back as opposed to receiver. Most receivers would have caught that one.
That would have been a big interception.
Fine play. Jimmy Young's right in position to make the play. Good job.
Second down and 10. Slot left. Jones again to throw, in trouble. Gets away from Dunbar. Got a man wide open to the 40, the 35, down inside the 30, and knocked out of bounds is Pierce at about the 26-yard line by Jimmy Young, the left cornerback, but not until he picks up 31 big ones on the play.
The versatility of Terrence Jones is ever present all the time. Watch this. Avoids the rush there, almost goes down, puts his hand down, avoids it, and then has the tenacity to look downfield, see what's there, make the play, come up, find the open man. All he has to do is get down the field.
First down inside the 27-yard line. Jones again. Pass complete to the outside and down to about the 16-yard line. And that was McIntosh.
Is complete to McIntosh.
And they'll rule his forward progress down inside that 20-yard line. And it's another first down.
And Terrence Jones is kind of like a snowball. The more he does, the better he gets. And we're allowing him a little bit of room. He's able to run the ball. He's able to throw the ball. He feels like he can avoid the rush. He's doing it all. He's a fine player. He's moving the ball against LSU now.
First down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Jones keeps. Runs out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line.
Jones carry. Run out of bounds by May.
Couldn't quite get to the corner, Bert, but still managed to turn that into a gain of about 5 yards.
Showing his speed once again, gets to the outside.
And quite a few Green Wave fans also present tonight at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Jones is 4 of 5 for 57 yards passing on this drive. And listen to the crowd at Tiger Stadium urging on the Tiger defense. Straight ahead, down to about the 8-yard line, Rodney Hunter on the carry. Mark Boutte made the tackle. He's the redshirt freshman, 6'4", 268-pounder, playing defensive right end for the Tigers of LSU. Third down, it's still about 2 yards to go. Ball at the 8-yard line. Tulane needs to get it to just about the 6 to pick up the first down. Pierce, he's got the first down and more as he dives inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Eric Hill on the stop for the Tigers of LSU.
First down, Green Wave.
As Pierce comes out of his helmet on that particular play, but it'll be first down and goal. Big series for Tulane right here.
Michael Pierce coming from the weak side of the backfield, follows his guard, tucks it upfield, gets the first down, and when Eric Hill has to make a tackle on that side of the ball, that means he's coming all the way across the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Green Wave are rolling right now. Option play, Jones gets away from a tackle, gets in for the touchdown. Sancho had him behind the line, and Bert, we talked about that great athletic ability of Terrence Jones, and he showed it once again right there as a couple of the Tigers had a shot at him and couldn't hold it.
Terrence Jones is an excellent athlete coming down the field. I believe he knew he was going to keep the ball all the time. Not in position to pitch there. Turns it upfield. Wants one more touchdown.
Wiggins will attempt, Bert will attempt the extra point. Kick is up. It's good. And with 9:33 to go in the third quarter, the Tulane Green Wave has come back to trail LSU by a score of 17-14. We'll be right back.
When we played for Oakland, we did not appreciate losing.
Our motto was, just win, baby.
Yeah, but now we just like to play a quiet game of pool and drink a few cold Miller Lights. Lights brewed from the ground up, so it tastes great.
Not like some watered-down version of a regular beer.
Your turn, Otis.
Hey, you cheated. Nice shot.
When it's Miller Lite, less filling, tastes great.
All of a sudden, Burt Jones, it's a three-point game. LSU's defense needs to go to work here. And, of course, the offense has got to move that football. Let's take a look at this thing one more time. Terrence Jones.
Very effective drive all the way down to the last play here. Terrence Jones running an option. Knows he's going to keep it all the time. Gets it into the zone.
Wiggins will kick off. Goes into the end zone. So the Tigers will take over with a first down and 10 at the 20-yard line. And Burt, LSU, of course, needs to move that football because Tulane right now playing with an awful lot of emotion. Sometimes when the offense gets going like that, it carries over to the defense. So LSU's offense really needs to assert themselves right here if they can.
They certainly do. And once again, let's watch Terrence Jones go around the right side on this option play. Excellent athlete. Fine performer. All-around good player.
Well, quite a drive by Jones. He had 4 pass completions for 58 yards, 2 runs for 10 yards and a touchdown. Tom Hodson wants to throw. It's complete. And up to about the 28-yard line for a pretty good gain on the play. Alvin Lee on the reception. Richard Harvey made the tackle for Tulane. Left side linebacker out of Gautier, Mississippi. 6'2", 227-pound senior. Leading tackler for the Green Wave coming into tonight's game. 9:05 to go, third quarter. LSU holding on to a 3-point lead. Tony Moss in the slot to the right side. Alvin Lee about 6 or 7 yards outside of him. Handoff straight ahead and bowling his way across the 30 to about the 32-yard line is Wyndham on the carry. Brought down by Mulmore and Treadway.
Richard Summer made the stop for Tulane. First down.
And the Tigers move the chains as he got it across that 30-yard line. So LSU picks up another first down in the ball game. They had 12 in the first half. 8:36 to go, third quarter. First and 10, LSU at their own 32-yard line. They fake the reverse and the quick screen to the outside. Wyndham to the 35 and up to about the 37-yard line. And a flag is down at the 29-yard line. Tigers had a lot of options on that play, Burt.
They did that. Trickery at its best. Only thing is, when you get those offensive linemen out of that little offensive lineman position, that being tackle to tackle, 2 to 3 yards back, 2 to 3 yards forward, puts them in a precarious position in that they really don't know how to play. It's got him pulling and puts them in a bad position. As you see Todd Kuti there, clipping number 77 right at the top of the screen, which is a tough play for LSU, brings them back 15 yards.
So that'll back up the Tigers to the 17-yard line. And it'll be first down and 25 yards to go.
See,
Tigers.
Man, the offensive linemen are always used to clipping inside that zone. When they get out there, they forget that they can't clip. And that's what happened there.
That's right. Just one running back. Victor Jones behind Tom Hodson. Draw play to Jones. Good gain up the middle to near the 25-yard line.
Victor Jones carry.
And there we look at strong safety Jamie Bice for the LSU Tigers.
And I know that injury well, Landon. That is an AC separation is what it looks like to me. AC joint. Right out here on the point of his shoulder. It hurts. He rolled over on the sideline. Looked like his hand, but turns out to be his shoulder.
Second down and about 16 yards to go. LSU just across their own 25. Hodson in a little bit of trouble. Going to keep the football. Not much there, and he's hammered at the 25-yard line as Tulane came up rapidly to put the stop on quarterback Kyle Hodson. Richard Harvey, the linebacker, made the tackle for the Green Wave of Tulane. Clock running with 6:55 to go in the third quarter. Things have tightened up considerably, to say the least, at Tiger Stadium here in Baton Rouge.
They have, and Tommy Hodson got himself in a bad position there. He didn't know whether he wanted to go down, try to stay up a little while longer, but whatever he did, he gave Tulane the opportunity to get a free shot on him. And it shows that he gets up limping a little bit.
Here comes Wyndham in motion. Hodson again to throw, looks for Wyndham. Great catch. Down at the 37-yard line as Calvin Wyndham leaps high in the air to haul that pass down from Tom Hodson. Mark Thornhill made the tackle on the play.
Wyndham coming in motion out here to the right side, man on man. Tommy sees him running straight down the field with the defensive back laying too far off and hits him. Just a little bit short of the first down.
Bourgeois will punt away the football. Price is the deep man standing at the 15. He had a big punt return in the Independence Bowl last year against Washington to give Tulane their only touchdown, so he's always a threat. And he takes this one at about the 17-yard line. Tigers with good coverage, and a flag is down at the 40-yard line as Price gets it to about the 26. A 44-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Mike Hebert made the tackle for the Tigers of LSU. And let's see what the call is. Here's the official calling holding against Tulane. So that'll back up the Greenway, trailing LSU by 3 in the third quarter. Realistically, Bert, Tulane has only had 2 good drives in the ball game, but they both resulted in touchdowns.
This is true, and they're back in the game. Last time they had the ball, they moved the ball very effectively and moved it down for a score. The LSU defense now has to come up and be able to stop them.
And there you hear the Tiger crowd really getting in the ball game. Terrence Jones to throw. Drop coming out of the backfield. Couldn't hold on to the football. And that was Melvin Adams, the fullback. Might have hit him on the shoulder pads.
Might have knocked his wind out.
Well, they only had 6 receptions coming into the ball game, so he hasn't been the target of too many Terrence Jones passes this year. Second down and 10, Tulane at their own 17. Green Wave has battled back in the ball game to trail it only by 3. Jones wants to go fairly deep to the right side, but a flag is down as he misses the mark at about the 34-yard line. Holding again the call. Ferdinand, the intended receiver on the previous play. So Tulane right now self-destructing a little bit. 5:29 to go, third quarter. LSU leads Tulane by a score of 17-14. And who can forget that shootout we had last year down at the Superdome in New Orleans, where LSU led for most of the ball game. Tulane got the lead with 4 minutes to go. Eddie Fuller broke a 20-yard touchdown run with about a minute and a half remaining. LSU went on to win that ball game in a real shootout, 41-36. We may see the same thing tonight. We're pretty much on the way right now, the way things are going.
Certainly is an exciting ball game. Tulane has come back, made a real game of it. LSU's been somewhat ineffective here moving the ball the second half. Fortunately for LSU, they've got them backed up now so that we might have good field position coming out.
Jones in trouble. Tries to scramble out of it. Almost getting behind the line. Wants to go deep. He's got a man open downfield, and it's caught. Or is it? Oh, he dropped it, and he was alone all by his lonesome. Greg Jackson with the coverage on the play. McIntosh had gotten behind the defenders. And I'll tell you once again, Bert, you've got to give credit to the great athletic ability of Terrence Jones. He turned something that could have been almost a safety into just about a 40-yard gain had the guy been able to hold on.
Terrence Jones is running loose back there, trying to avoid the rush. You see Sancho almost getting in there, but no. And he still has the ability to look downfield, throw the ball 50 yards in there, and hit this guy on the numbers. McIntosh just dropped it.
with a little help from Greg Jackson. There are the numbers on Terrence Jones. 3rd down and long yardage. He's in trouble, scrambles out of it again, fires the ball downfield, and it's picked off by the LSU Tigers, Jimmy Young. And Terrence Jones went to the well just one too many times.
He did that. Jimmy Young came up with a fine interception. He had men open, but he didn't see them on this side of the field. Once again, Terrence Jones is in the backfield, running for his life, looking downfield. I'm not sure what he saw, but I don't think he saw Jimmy Young here. And he comes up with a big play.
LSU with a 1st down at the 30-yard line and a golden opportunity at the Tulane 30. Egloff and Wyndham are the running backs. Behind Hodson. Draw play. Check it. That's Fuller. He's got some yardage. Bowls his way down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Eddie Fuller, number 33. Tigers leading ground gainer coming into tonight's game with 642 yards. 12-yard gain. LSU with a 1st down at the 18-yard line. 4:48 to go, 3rd quarter. LSU leads by just 3. Fuller again on the delay. Breaks a tackle and fights his way down to the 15-yard line. Bert Jones, he is so strong. Racklin finally wrapped him up, but Fuller had a chance to be brought down back there for no gain. Turned it into about a 4 or 5-yard gain.
He did, and 9 out of 11 men were on the line of scrimmage. As you see Fuller right here avoid that one tackle. Goes upfield. Probably should have lost yards, but instead gains 2.5 to 3. Fine play, excellent performance.
2nd down and a long 7, just shy of the 15-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Egloff gets the quick handoff. He's down to the 10-yard line. Thornhill on the tackle, the right side cornerback. Egloff, the senior, 6'1", 225-pounder. And he's out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. Let's look at it again.
Egloff coming in. Watch the guard. Slide around. Comes up, just reads it, just straight ahead, goes up, good gain. Egloff just reading the blocks, going forward with the ball.
We're going to give Egloff another year. He's a junior rather than a senior. I know that makes Coach Mike Archer pretty happy. Fuller tried to go over the top, and he was hit very hard by linebacker Richard Harvey, who's played a good defensive game for the Green Wave of Tulane. 3rd down and about 2. Well, do you bring on Brown Dyke, Bert? Crowd wants him to go for it.
I believe I would kick it myself.
You called it. Chris Mook goes into the ball game to hold. Mike Hebert will center. And Brown Dyke will attempt a field goal from about the 17-yard line. This will be a 27-yard attempt. Here's the kick.
Automatic.
And he nails it. Oh, a little insurance for the LSU Tigers, but we got a long way to go yet with 2:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the LSU Tigers have opened up a 6-point lead over the Green Wave of Tulane. It's timeout on the field with a score, LSU 20, Tulane 14.
Making ends meet hasn't been easy with 3 of us at home. Jobs are pretty scarce around here, especially since neither my husband or me finished school. Things are going to be different for this one. He's going to stay in high school if I have to tie him to his chair. Sometimes I wish someone had done me that way.
And always another attraction at the LSU ball games, the Golden Girls of LSU, and they're pretty happy right now as the Tigers are holding on to a 6-point lead. But Bert, we know this one's far from being over.
Far from being over. Tulane showing some offense now. the ability to move the ball and score. LSU has to stop them as they did the last time.
David Brondike to kick off the football. To the 10, to the 20. Nice run as he gets it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Fuller made the tackle on the play, and a pretty good return by the Green Wave of Tulane.
Makes a stop for the Tigers. First down, Tulane at the 33-yard line.
So Tulane will take over following that good return to about the 33-yard line with a first down and 10 yards to go. That was Strickland also with a good return, so Tulane takes over in pretty good field position. There's a scoring drive. Tigers took it 20 yards in 5 plays. Brondike caps it off with a 27-yarder. Jones wants to throw. Out of the backfield behind the intended receiver. Pierce had to turn around. Bird almost made a good catch.
That's correct. The ball was behind him. Looks like Jones is talking to him as if possibly he broke it off a little too soon. Maybe he wasn't expecting that. Nobody knows but those two right now.
That's right. 2:11 remaining, third quarter. LSU up by 6. Second down, 10. Jones again to throw. Fires that ball, and it's complete and downed immediately at the 35-yard line. Jimmy Young made the hit on James Toney. Toney had only 5 receptions coming into tonight's ball game for 101 yards, but a sparkling 20.2 average per reception. 1 touchdown. 5'10", 160-pound junior out of Marrero. Big third down and 7. Ball at the 36-yard line. Tulane 3 for 9 on third down conversion. Jones in trouble again. Fires the ball downfield, almost picked off. Tigers had a shot at it at about that 39-yard line.
Jones's pass intended for Nelson.
And pretty good pressure put on by Wharton and Sancho. Corey Raymond had a shot at it, couldn't quite get to the football. So Tulane will call upon Noisy to kick him out of trouble. He'll kick from about the 27-yard line. He's standing at the 22. A little bit over a 38-yard average. And he gets the kick away.
Just barely.
Tigers have had a good rush on him all night, but couldn't quite get to him. That'll be down at the 35-yard line.
Kick is down at the 35-yard line.
29-yard punt.
In at quarterback for the Tigers, Mickey Guidry.
And back in the ball game comes Mickey Guidry. .118 to go in the third quarter. LSU leads Tulane 20-14. Tigers at their own 35. Guidry fakes the draw, rolls left. He wants to throw. He's looking for Tony Moss, and it's incomplete. And one of the Tulane defenders got a hand on that football. It appeared to be Richard Harvey, number 95, who leaped up high in the air. As we look at Mike the Tiger, cheerleading the crowd. 1:11 to go, third quarter. There's Mickey Guidry. Alvin Lee, Packnett, and the Tiger offense. Guidry 1 of 3 in the game for 23 yards. Tigers with a slot left. Wyndham goes in motion. Guidry. He's got some time. He looks for Moss. He's got it, takes the hit, but holds on at the 48-yard line. Doug Adams really delivered the lick on the play. A gain of 16 yards. Tony Moss, not very big, Bert. Got a lot of heart. He's tough.
Mickey Guidry draws back. It's just a down and out by the slot man, similar to the last play they just ran. Tony Moss makes a great catch and takes a tough hit. Tough little man right there.
First down, LSU in Tulane territory at the 49-yard line. Wide open to the 20. Alvin Lee. Knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Lee wanted so desperately to get that one into the end zone. And Birdie picked up 48 yards. Crozier and Price finally knocked him out of bounds. Well, what a big play that was.
Certainly was a fine play all the way around. Mickey Guidry has 2 men open on this. It's a roll-up zone, hits a man in between the 2 safeties right there. Alvin Lee avoids that man, goes down the field. Not many men will catch this man. He had a good angle. And that is a tough call if the ball goes across the goal line. It should have been TD. But the back judge was right there. He had the best view of the play.
Egloff and Darrell Williams are the running backs behind Mickey Guidry. Egloff, he's close. They stood him up very close to the goal line. The Green Wave trying to keep the LSU Tigers out of the end zone, but the Tigers in beautiful shape with a 2nd down and goal, just inches shy of the goal line. Clock running with 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Lee 4 catches for 90 yards. Guidry is now 3 out of 5 for 85 yards, and the Tigers are going to be content to let the 3rd quarter run out.
And the people in the south end zone are cheering for a score down here, and the people in the north end want them down here to score.
And that's it. We've played 3. LSU leads Tulane by a score of 20-14.
Well, it's another 10K season.
I'll settle for 10 wins.
Yeah, but you can't lose with 10K. It's low in sodium, high in vitamin C.
And really quenches thirst.
You mean really tastes great?
No, quenches thirst.
Okay, let's let the new guy decide.
10K is a great thirst quencher that actually tastes great. Let's have another. Oh, waiter?
You rang?
Dale!
Well, if it isn't Mr. Roundball. Thought maybe one of you guys could spare a center.
Anybody here going to the Final Four?
As we move into the 4th and final period of play, the Tigers of LSU lead it by 6, trying to score the ball just about 8 to 10 inches shy of that goal line. And of course, the Tulane Green Wave trying desperately to keep them out. Guidry trots back onto the field. Once again, he's ignited that Tiger offense here in the 2nd half and moved them right down the field. And the big play was that 48-yard pass to Alvin Lee, which has the Tigers once again knocking on the door of the Tulane goal line. Williams and Egloff in the eye. Guidry hands off to Egloff, and he goes in for the touchdown. Once again on the left side, behind Poteet, Rodrigue, and Norwood. (26-14) the score. First play of the 4th quarter.
3rd and 1, just a short yardage play. They start out in the I formation, shift up to the weak back side. 3 backs of that side. Egloff just gets the surge over for the score, and they're going for 2.
Tigers want 2, Bert. Absolutely right. And Tulane wants to call timeout here to talk things over. 3rd quarter totals. Total offense, LSU 122 yards rushing, 250 passing, 372 yards through 3 quarters. Tulane 77 on the ground, 103 through the air for a total of 180. And let's take a look at it, Bert.
Once again, LSU has a good surge on the left side with Norwood and Rodrigue getting a good push. Egloff just gets it over the zone. Watch the offensive line surge.
And Poteet, the center, with a good block straight ahead.
And Willie Williams did a fine job as the 2nd tight end on that.
So the Tigers will go for 2. That would increase the margin to 28-14. It would take 2 Tulane touchdowns and 2 extra point conversions to get them back even with LSU. So let's see what the Tigers elect to go for right here. Two-point conversion try by LSU. Moss comes in motion. Guidry wants to throw. Unloads the football, and it's incomplete. And that was intended for Tony Moss. Thornhill with the coverage on the play. So with 14:58 remaining in the ball game, LSU leads Tulane 26-14.
Sunshine Network's exciting coverage of college basketball takes off in December. From all the top schools in Florida to the best holiday tournaments, Sunshine Network hoops it up with 26 games. Catch teams from 11 different conferences, including in-state powers Florida State and Florida. Sunshine Network rings in the new year with 5 of the nation's best college basketball tournaments. The Longhorn Classic, featuring Jacksonville University from Texas. The ECAC Holiday Festival from New York. The Red Lobster Florida Citrus Classic from Orlando. The All-College Tournament from Oklahoma City. And the Coca-Cola Classic from Chattanooga. Also coming up, college football. The Central Collegiate Hockey Association. Florida State Florida Day with volleyball, football, and basketball. Men's World Pro Racquetball Tour. Belt Forum Boxing. Michelin Tennis, and more in December on Sunshine Network, Florida Sports Network.
And we're back at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge with the LSU Tigers. Bert Jones finally have a little breathing room, but the question is whether 12 points is enough, because Terrence Jones has certainly shown, at least in a couple of spots, where he has the ability to really move that football offensively.
He certainly does, and against Tulane, it's never breathing room. The only time you have breathing room is when the game is over.
And it's almost 15 minutes remaining in the ball game. And here's the kickoff. That's Strickland up across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. So Tulane will take over with a first down and 10 yards to go. 18 yards on the return. Tigers, Bert, of course, headed for Tampa, Florida in the Hall of Fame game against Syracuse. Should be a pretty good trip for these guys.
It certainly is. It should be a lot of fun going down there. It'll be a good game. Syracuse and the Orangemen have a tremendous team. It'll be one of those things where we've got to go down there and play for the win.
Jones to throw. Unloads it. That's Adams. And he fights his way to near the 30-yard line. Melvin Adams, the senior fullback out of Jennings, Louisiana. Oh, Bert, once again, we got a dogfight. Tigers got a little breathing room, but with this great offense that Tulane has, it's certainly not over.
And if they continue to give Terrence Jones the opportunity to drop back, look down the field, and have an opportunity to throw, may be in trouble.
Here they run the draw play. Adams breaks a tackle, across the 35 to about the 36. He's got more than enough for a Tulane first down. So the green wave now starting to come to life once again offensively at their own 37-yard line. The Tigers took that drive 65 yards in 5 plays, used only 1:20 on the clock. Egloff, a 1-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion try was no good, but of course the big play was from Guidry to Alvin Lee for 48 yards to the 1-yard line, which set up the ensuing touchdown. First down and 10 at the 37. Jones steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, complete the McIntosh, and he's down to the 47-yard line, depending on the spot, very close to a first down. 13:32 remaining in the ball game. You remember last year the Tigers rushed out to a 21-7 lead. Tulane finally caught them with 4 minutes to go before the Tigers came back to win the ball game, 41-36. And we've got another offensive show tonight, although Tulane certainly does not have the yardage of LSU, but they do have 2 touchdowns. And there's the man responsible for most of the Tulane offense tonight. He's got some time. Now he's in trouble, unloads the football, and the Tiger fans think that grounding should be called, but apparently one of the Tulane players was near enough to that football. Mike Merla really put the pressure on Terrence Jones, but once again, really, you got to credit the LSU secondary with the coverage, Bert, because he really had time, more than enough time to throw that football.
Well, Terrence Jones is second in less than 1 yard. Everybody back there knows that the one thing that can hurt you in that situation is a long pass. So they were prepared for it. They had good coverage downfield, didn't afford him the opportunity to get it downfield. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Straight ahead, and more than enough yardage for the first down as he gets to about the 48-yard line. Hunter has the yardage for the first down, so the Green Wave will move the chains. 12:48 to go. And Byrd, if they're able to score on this drive, it's going to get tough again. And we're seeing the wave moving around LSU Tiger Stadium.
But I think this is the LSU wave.
I believe you're right. First down and 10. Tulane at the 48. Terrence Jones wants to throw. Picked off. Greg Jackson. He's got some blockers. He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown. Jackson, 71 yards. Here it is.
Terrence Jones throwing right over the middle. Greg Jackson picks up the tip ball and shows he's an excellent runner with this ball. Cuts back across the field, picks up from the box by Corey Raymond right there. Eric Hill down the field, makes the last block, sends him on his way. Did I step out of bounds? No, it's a touchdown.
32-14. Tigers going for 2 again. Hodson got the time, got a man wide open, and the Tigers have Tony Loss and the 2-point conversion. Listen to the crowd at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as the Tigers have finally broken it open. 34-14. 71-yard touchdown return by Greg Jackson. A couple of weeks ago, he took one 100 yards against Mississippi State. What a year it's been for him.
He certainly has. Always alert, down there, weak safety. Terrence Jones dropping back here. Watch the tip. Oh, just a very tip. He probably would have had the interception had it not been tipped. It makes a fine run, cutting across field, allowing his blockers to get in front of him. Goes on up. Eric Hill makes the last block. There it is. And looking back to see if he stepped out of bounds, but no, he didn't. Touchdown. Great play, and never could it have been in a better time.
Boy, that was a big, big play. 34-14. And the Tigers followed that up with a big 2-point conversion.
Tommy Hodson sitting back with plenty of time. It's a crossing route. He's looking to throw the ball to the right, but finds him all the way over on the left side.
Was he open?
He was so far open till it was scary.
That was Harvey Williams congratulating Greg Jackson. I don't know what the story is on Harvey. It certainly would be great for LSU, Byrd, if that young man could come back next year. And they probably did the best thing in sitting him out this year after just a devastating knee injury in this very game last year down at the Superdome.
Without a doubt.
And Greg, you are number 1. To the 5. Pierce to the 10 and tripped up in a good open field tackle. And hustling down the field was Williams. Darrell Williams, 24-yard return.
The ever-present headhunter, Darrell Williams, on the kickoff and punt teams, does a fine job.
So Tulane takes over with a first down and 10, just across their own 24-yard line, trailing now by 20 points in the ball game. 12:02 remaining. Average yards on first down, and LSU's really done a number there. Exactly double, 8.2 to 4.1. And really 4 yards on first down isn't too bad, Byrd, but 8, that is just phenomenal.
4 yards is the number that you strive for overall to have on first down. If you can get that, it puts the defense in a precarious position in that they can't just defend against the run. They have to, or the pass, they have to be alert for both. So when you can get 4 yards or more, you're being effective on first down.
12:02 to go in the ball game. It's timeout on the field. LSU leads Tulane 34-14.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim Hawthorne. I'm excited that the college basketball season is just around the corner. Right now is the time to get your LSU basketball season tickets. 17 games in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center for only $153. And the new family plan with special designated seating is only $119 per seat. Get your Tiger basketball season tickets now at the LSU Athletic Department ticket office or call 388-2184 for more information. Hey, take a tip from me. Get them this year. It may be your last shot at it.
Terrence Jones and company. Jones wants to throw. He's got some time. Now he's in trouble. Slides out of it. And is tripped up at about the 25-yard line. Might have just lost his footing. I believe Darrell Phillips might have got a big hand out there. Tigers fine nose guard. One of those seniors playing his final game, home game for the Tigers of LSU. And what a good one he's been. A 6'2", 155-pound senior. And Bert, he's certainly my pick to make first-string nose guard for that all-SEC team. He's a good one.
He is a fine player. He comes off slightly injured on this play. Looks like when he stuck his hand out and made the play, he might have hurt his left shoulder there.
Second down and 10. Jones in trouble. Gets away, and the pass is complete. And fighting his way to about the 35-yard line, Hebert made the tackle, but we've got a flag on the play. Strickland on the reception, but a flag is down at about the 17-yard line, and that's that usual holding area. And let's see if that's the call. No, it's going to be a clip. So that'll back up the green wave. 15 yards. That'll move it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Well, actually half the distance, but nevertheless, about a 12.5-yard penalty. As we look at Mike Archer, Pete Jenkins, and some of the players. Second down, and about 23 yards to go. 11:04 to go in the game. LSU up 34-14. Tigers looking for their 8th win of the year against 3 losses. Here's Greg Davis, the head coach of Tulane. Terrence Jones. Caught from behind. Eric Middleton, back up right side linebacker. 6'4", 244-pound redshirt freshman. Hauled Terrence Jones down from behind.
Middleton did a fine job. Of course, Terrence Jones is trying to take all the time he can to find the receiver downfield. This time he took a little bit too much time. Terrence Jones sitting back, trying to buy some time, rolling around. Middleton comes from the behind. Comes from behind and gets Terrence Jones.
Third down and about 21. Jones again. Fires deep. McIntosh couldn't hold it at about the 38-yard line. Jones got a strong arm.
McIntosh needs to keep on jogging through the sidelines after that. He knew he should have had that one. And he's dropped a couple of key passes today.
All those Jones boys got arms like that?
Well, that Jones boy, or that Jones player, has one fine arm.
I know another Jones that had a pretty good one about 15 years ago. Micah Noisy to try to kick Tulane out of trouble. He'll kick from about the 4-yard line. Tigers have the return on this time as he booms one out of there. Jimmy Young at the 37. Jukes his way for about 4 or 5 yards to about the 42-yard line. 5-yard return and a 50-yard punt by Noisy. Racklin made the tackle.
That was a fine punt. Plenty of hang time, plenty of distance. Not much opportunity to get coverage or get a return on that.
Well, this could be a big offensive drive for LSU if they can utilize their ground game, Bert, and maybe use some time off the clock and pretty much sew this one away. But we still got a lot of time to go. Hodson, handoff and nothing there. And let's go down to Greg Bowser on the sideline.
Bert and Lanny, the Tigers have taken control of the ball game, but the official came over just a minute ago and warned Coach Mike Archer that if the pushing and shoving continues after the whistle, they may eject somebody from the ball game. So things are getting a little rough after the whistle. Let's go back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Greg. That's no surprise, Bert. Always a lot of emotion in this ball game as we look at a young LSU Tiger. Hodson, 14 of 19, 163 yards and a touchdown. Having a fine game. Field general for the Tigers of LSU, Justin Jr. He'll be back for one more. Hodson wants to go deep. Tony Moss, he's got it. Beautifully thrown ball on the out pattern. Tony Moss hauled it down. Big gain, first down, LSU. 27 yards. What did I say about a ground attack and control of the football?
Great throw, great catch. Tommy Hodson drops back. It's a corner route. It's a long pass to throw. Double coverage. The one pass that can beat that is right there, that corner, and they get it on the money. Fine play. Tony Moss does a fine job. Tommy Hodson gets the ball right on the money.
Great throw by Tom Hodson at the 32-yard line. That's Vincent Fuller, gets to about the 30, and that's just about all. Harvey made the tackle on the play. Moss now has 4 catches for 81 yards in the ball game. He, of course, the Tigers' leading receiver with 845 yards coming into tonight's game on 50 receptions and a fine average of 16.9 and 5 touchdowns. And he's had 4 100-yard games this year. Things getting pretty rough down there.
Things always get rough down there.
Second down, 9. Just shy of the 30-yard line. Hodson looks, wants to go for Moss.
Touchdown.
He's got it. Got those feet down, and what a beautifully thrown ball by Tom Hodson. Bert, they talk about him going deep. He's gone 27 and 31, and you couldn't throw the ball any better than Tom Hodson did those 2 times.
Perfectly thrown ball, perfectly run route, touchdown.
With an explosive fourth quarter, the Tigers have opened up a 40-14 lead. 8:13 to go. Browndyke will attempt the extra point out of Chris Mook's hold. Kick is up. Dead center. 8:13 to go in the fourth and final period of play. And let's take a look at that touchdown one more time.
Tommy Hodson gets set, throws the ball, plenty of loft, watch it go right over the outside. If he can't catch it, no one else can. Perfectly thrown ball, excellent play, touchdown.
LSU leads Tulane 41-14.
Catch the best of Florida State sports on Sunshine Network.
It takes a lot of people to run an Air Force, and we have the best. Aim high, Air Force.
Tom Hodson, 16 of 21, 221 yards and a touchdown. Moss, 5 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. Browndyke's kick gets away from Pierce and will go out of the end zone.
Tommy Hodson's had a great day. He's even had 2 balls dropped. He could be 18 for 21, and if he threw them all like this, he would be all-world every day. Fine play. Moss has 1 step. The ball is right there on the money. Touchdown. Nobody can catch it but Tony Moss.
And let's credit Hodson with 2 touchdowns. We forgot the one to Fuller a little bit earlier, so he's having a great night.
That's correct. Plus, he had an opportunity. Tony Moss dropped a touchdown on the first drive of the game.
Tulane with a first down at the 20-yard line. Jones pumps. He wants to go deep. McIntosh throws it out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And Jimmy Young, Greg Jackson, good coverage on the play as we look at Saul Graves. warming up on the sideline for the Tigers of LSU. Graves, of course, a sophomore, 6'5", 199-pounder out of Monroe, Louisiana. Tigers took it 58 yards in just 4 plays. Hodson to Moss, 31 yards and a touchdown. LSU up 41-14, 8:02 to go. Pierce in the slot on the left side. Jones in trouble. Gets away from Dunbar. He's going to run with the football. And he's up across the 25 to about the 26-yard line.
This is a great game for Tommy Hodson coming out of kind of a dismal week last week. Terrence Jones here. This was a run all the way. Originally designed to be a middle draw by the quarterback. You saw the lineman release and go downfield, but there was no room through the middle. Improvised, got to the outside, and turned it upfield for a 5-yard gain. That was a fine play on his part.
3rd down and 5, Tulane at the 25. He's in trouble. Dunbar. He can't get away from Eric Hill at the 15-yard line. And Dunbar came back in there, hung with it, and helped out on the play. And listen to the hand for the LSU Tiger defense. And boy, they have really been deserving of it all year.
Once again, it's almost a one-man team. Eric Hill coming through on a middle blitz. Keeps coming. Persistence paid off on that one. Catches Terrence Jones to the outside.
Noisy will punt away the football from about the 5-yard line. To Greg Jackson and Jimmy Young, standing at the LSU 44. And he gets the punt away, and it's a pretty good kick coming downfield. Fair catch is called for and taken by Greg Jackson at the Tiger 45. 40-yard punt for Noisy. LSU takes over with a 1st and 10, 6:29 to go. Mickey Guidry goes back in at quarterback for the Tigers of LSU. And Tom Hodson had himself quite a ball game tonight.
He certainly did.
Of course, Guidry didn't do too bad the last time he was down there, as he led him to a touchdown also. LSU 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Guidry. Fuller. Flag is down back at the 40-yard line, but he's got a good gain up to about the 45-yard line. Harvey and Price combine on the tackle. Well, that's Eddie Fuller's little brother, freshman out of Leesville, Louisiana. And a flag back upfield, and this is going to go against LSU as we took a look at Pete Jenkins there, the fine defensive coordinator for the LSU Tigers. Holding the call against LSU, so that will negate the big gain by Vincent Fuller. Yeah. 6:18 to go in the ball game. Well, we've been lucky. It was raining when the game started, but after a couple of minutes, it slacked off, and it's been relatively quiet as far as the rain has been concerned.
As you watch Mickey Guidry drop back and give this delayed handoff draw up there, this is one of those holes that you really don't need because it is 10 yards behind the ball and really not needed at all.
1st down and 20. Guidry wants to throw over the middle, and it's complete to Willie Williams at the 45-yard line, and that should be enough for a 1st down. Mitchell Price, a gain of 21. LSU with a 1st down at the 44-yard line, and Guidry fired that one, Bert Jones, right on the money, right over the middle.
Right over the money, play action fake, up the middle, freezes the linebacker, affords the opportunity of Williams getting down the field past the linebacker to the safety in that seam. Mickey Guidry puts the ball on the money.
Pretty good numbers for Mickey, 4 out of 6 for 108 yards. Fuller. He's down to the 29-yard line. Tigers really moving the football now almost at will. A gain of 15 yards on the play. That'll move the chains again. 5:27 to go in the game. LSU at the Tulane 29-yard line. Derek Pope in there as a running back for the Tigers of LSU. Fuller goes in motion. Pope gets the call. Look at that. Fights his way down to the 20-yard line. Eric Racklin made the tackle on the play. Pope, a freshman out of New Orleans. Down to the 20-yard line. I think one thing we're seeing right here, the Tulane defense right now, Bert, getting pretty tired. They've played a lot in this ball game.
They are getting tired. It was just a quick trap up the middle. Anytime you start sending your linebackers, a trap play is very effective if you can break that initial surge of the line. And Pope got through it then.
Second down and about 1. Guidry hands off to Fuller to the 15. He's down to the 10, and the Tigers with another first down. 9 different players have carried the football for the Tigers of LSU tonight.
Once again, the trap has been very effective all evening. Fuller this time follows the guard. Watch him trap on this outside end. Coming around. Can't see it in the screen. Made a good play. Read the block correctly. Tucked it inside and got upfield.
Injured player down, Bert, for Tulane. It appears to be Mitchell Price, their fine free safety, a 5'10", 180-pound junior out of San Antonio, Texas. 4:16 to go in the ball game. LSU has broken this one open, and it was a tight ball game for a long time. But right now, LSU leading 41-14 as the Hall of Fame bowl-bound Tigers looking for their 8th win of the year. And Bert, for Mike Archer, after 2 seasons, 18-4-1, doesn't sound too bad at all. And don't forget, at one point, when you and I did the Kentucky game, this ball club was 2-2, and it didn't look too good at the time, but they've really turned it around.
They certainly have. They're a fine ball club. They're well coached. They've got it going, and they do a good job.
Other games around the SEC, that was yesterday, of course. And that was Auburn over Alabama. Georgia over Georgia Tech today, 24-3. Mississippi over Mississippi State, 33-6. Tennessee beat Vanderbilt by a score of 14-7. First down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Fuller goes in motion. Handoff inside, down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and that's Pope on the carry. Gain of about 3. Inside of 4 minutes now. 3:50 to go in the game. Well, that might be a way some of the people from out of state feel, Bert, that the rules are different here, but it's a tough place to play football for a visiting team, no doubt about it.
It is that.
Second down and 9. Guidry directing traffic. Guidry wants to throw. Looks over the corner of the end zone, and it appeared as though Alvin Lee fell down. Couldn't get to the football. Check it. That was number 23. And that was not Lee. That was Williams coming out of the backfield, but he slipped and fell down. He might have gotten to the football. Mickey Guidry, senior out of Gretna. He's been the backup for 3 years now to Tom Hodson, and many times he's come off the bench and given the Tigers a boost. Third down and 8. Once again, Guidry shifts those backs. Fuller on a wing to the left. Guidry wants to throw. He's got some time. Now he scrambles, and he's just going to jump out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Chase given by Richard Harvey on the play. And we'll see David Browndyke, and he's already got 2 field goals in the ball game. 3:13 to go as the LSU Tigers well on their way now to their 8th win of the 1988 campaign. Mook will hold from the 20. It will be a 30-yard attempt. Kick is up. It's good. And Browndyke has his 3rd field goal in 4 tries tonight.
And that was a tough one because he had to double clutch that one.
3:06 to go in the ball game, and there's fireworks in Baton Rouge, mostly from the LSU offense. LSU now leads it by 30, 44-14, and Bert, just a few minutes ago, it was a 17-14 game.
We said last week the only one he missed was because of a bad hole. This was a tough hole because the ball came back on one bounce. Luke gets it up, puts it on the tee. Fine play by Browndyke by being able to hold up, break his momentum, and break his timing, and go ahead and kick it through. He's an excellent kicker.
He really is, because that really messes you up. You know, you've got that rhythm, and he had to just kind of slow up there and just kind of pooch it through there, but he did, right through the middle. So he now has 3 field goals in the ball game. And what a kicker he's been for the Tigers of LSU. And he's now 19 of 23 on the year, and that is quite a kicking percentage. Browndyke to kick off. Tony is standing at about the 7-yard line. Here's the kick coming downfield. Taken by Strickland at the 8 to the 10. And up across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Brought down by Corey Raymond, 20 yards on the return. Tigers took it 42 yards, 8 plays behind Mickey Guidry. Browndyke kicked a 30-yard field goal, 3:23 the Tigers used on the clock, and Tulane gets it back with just 2:57 remaining in the ball game.
You're seeing a lot of subs coming in on defense for LSU. Get a little experience here.
First down and 10 yards to go at the 27-yard line. Terrence Jones. Incomplete. And we may have an interference call down there at the 40-yard line. That was intended for Jerry Urson. He's a freshman out of Lutcher, Louisiana.
Maybe a pick on offense. It is.
Big play. So that's going to back up the green wave of Tulane. First, the Tigers will match up with Syracuse. Now, they've been a pretty good ball club the last few seasons. What kind of a ball game do you look for? I mean, this LSU team, in my estimation, when they're ready to play it healthy, can play with just about anybody in the country.
I don't think there's any question about that. And I think the advantage for LSU is every time they have ample opportunity to prepare for a game, that being when they have the time to go out and spend and put into the game plan and implement it during practice, they've always been effective, as you saw them in the bowl game last year. I think that once again this year they'll probably do the same thing.
Jones to throw. The pass is complete and knocked out of bounds across the way at about the 25-yard line. Maurice Nelson on the reception.
Jones's pass complete to McIntosh.
And there was Giron over there to make the tackle for the LSU Tigers. There's Eddie Fuller, Victor Jones, and a few others looking at the game from the sideline. There's the official time, 2:40 to go. Tigers lead it by 30, 44-14. Third down, 11 yards to go. Jones gonna run with it. He's got some room. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Bert, you don't see many quarterbacks, primarily passing quarterbacks, that carry the football like that guy does. 17 yards on the play, and one of the Tigers is down.
There's a flag on the play.
And we've got a flag back upfield at about the 12-yard line.
Terrence Jones, once again, one-man team, drops back, doesn't see much downfield, tries to make something happen, and does. Tucks it up the middle, still looking, turns it upfield, avoids 1 tackle, 2, and instead of stepping out of bounds, makes the defensive back hurt.
Bert, did you ever run like that in your day?
Did I ever run like that? I was never that fast. I sometimes was that foolish in not going out of bounds, but I was never that effective as a running back.
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard to match that guy because he's just about as good a runner at quarterback as you'll see. He could probably play for Oklahoma, run that wishbone.
He can play for a lot of people.
That's for sure. Eric Middleton leaving the ball game, fortunately under his own steam, and he seems to be okay. First down and 10. Jones got some time this time, zipped it over the middle, and that pass was incomplete, and intended once again for Urson, the freshman.
Young Tiger fans pretty happy with the way things have been going in tonight's game. 2:17 to go. There's Mickey Guidry. And he's a senior, and as we said many times, Bert, he's going out a winner, as is the entire LSU team, and played a pretty good part in this game tonight.
He certainly has. He's played a pretty good part in the season for LSU this year.
Second down and 10. Jones throws on the run. Incomplete as the receiver slipped down and trying to get to that football, and that was Maurice Nelson. That stops the clock with 2:09 to go. Terrence Jones. The Tigers will have to look at him at least one more time. He's just a junior out of Lutcher, Louisiana.
Third down, Tulane.
Tulane with a third down and 10. Jones 12 of 32 tonight for 128 yards. He's had 2 picked off. Jones goes deep. Pass incomplete. He overshot the mark. That was intended for Melvin Ferdinand down the field, and Jones is down at the 36-yard line. Jones, a tough young man, gets right back up.
That is one fine football player there. He was caught from the blind side, took the hit, never knew it was coming. Davison from your left side of the screen will come in, hit him in the rib cage, and that kind hurts. After he threw the ball right here, boom.
Fourth down and 10. And Tulane, of course, what do they got to lose? They'll try to go for it. Jones in trouble. And he's going to be down as he tries to scramble for it. Only gets back to about the 39-yard line. And that should just about do it as the LSU Tigers take over one more time with 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining. And, of course, a lot of second and third liners getting to see action for the LSU Tiger defense as they come off the field. Saul Graves goes into the ball game at quarterback. Guidry, 4 out of 7 tonight for 108 yards. Remember last year he completed 1 pass, and that went for about 73 yards and a touchdown to Slip Watkins. He had a perfect record last year. He is straight ahead and diving down inside that 35 to about the 33-yard line. Tom Faraday on the carry, as a host of youngsters now getting to see some action for the Tigers of LSU. "11 different ball players have carried the football tonight. LSU at the 34-yard line. Leslie shaken up for Tulane. So the Tigers, with Saul Graves at quarterback, will rehuddle. 1:26 to go in the game.
Leslie shaken up on the play.
Well, there you see some new names for the Tigers of LSU. And some youngsters getting their first opportunity to play tonight. Saul Graves leads his team on a 2nd down and 5. And diving down to about the 30. Believe it or not, that's Troy LeBlanc, and I believe we got Mike Merla in there, or else somebody else wearing a number 93 for the Tigers of LSU. I think I saw an Ernst on his back. But regardless, a host of LSU Tigers getting the opportunity to see some action, and we've only got 44 seconds to go. 3rd down. And there's a handoff down inside that 30-yard line. Faraday again on the carry, and there's athletic director Joe Dean, and he looks pretty happy tonight, along with Mike Archer's wife, Barbara Archer. He's got a lot to cheer about. Tigers really played a 4th quarter.
He certainly does.
This should do it. Last play of the ball game with just 17 seconds to go.
There goes LeBlanc down inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. And you can hear the crowd tick off the final seconds of the ball game. And this one's over. The Tigers of LSU storm back in the second half of the ball game, particularly in the fourth quarters. We see Greg Davis and Mike Archer down there shaking hands as the fireworks have gone off tonight, especially for the LSU offense down in Baton Rouge. As the Tigers camp off another fine season, finishing the regular season at 8-3 with a resounding 44-14 whipping of Tulane here at Tiger Stadium tonight. We'll be back to talk about the post-game activities right after